Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television and radio talk show where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning 2 p.m. on the Eastern time zone as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. It's always so much fun. You can also find us on television, Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. Continue watching us and listening to us on the radio, WZLA. That's the biggest country station in South Carolina. So glad to be part of that team. 92.9 FM. By the way, you can listen to them online. As a matter of fact, before we moved, Phil and I were actually listening to them on the internet. So that's a good way to find out. It was a good way to find out what the community was about and all that. So if you'd like to know more about South Carolina and this part of the region, this part of the world, Clemson and South Carolina, where they fight with each other, well, then this is the way to find out. Again, thank you so much for watching. Continue sending email, Donna@donnasedge.com. Appreciate that. AP Steadham is with us now. He's our sports guy and the one a lot of you go to find out information. I mean, the real stuff about what's really happening in college football, basketball, and everything. Well, I know you're excited. Where are you at right now, AP?
Yeah, I'm right now. I'm in Connecticut right now for a few days before flying to Miami for the college football playoff national championship game between the Big Ten representative Indiana University. He's overwhelmed everyone so far versus the University of Miami out of the Atlantic Coast Conference. So, and Donna, the thing that struck me immediately was you have the Heisman Trophy winner, Cuban heritage, Fernando Mendoza from South Florida, playing for Indiana, the hometown hero, coming back to play the hometown team. So all the folks from, Cuban nationality, they're the big winners because either way, win, lose, or draw, they're going to have somebody that's leading their team. Fernando Mendoza is the quarterback for Indiana University, and Mario Cristobal, the former player at the University of Miami, is the head coach. So, but who could ever have scripted this drama, Donna, of those two representatives and those two schools beating each other in Miami for the national championship?
I'll tell you, it was not in my calculation at all.
No, it sure wasn't. Miami was the last team that was mentioned for the playoffs, and some people thought it should have been another team or other teams, and they won. They've beaten Texas A&M in College Station. They beat Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl, and then they've beaten Ole Miss out of the SEC, the last representative, at the Fiesta Bowl in Arizona. So they've earned their way all the way back to their hometown of Miami.
That's something. I got to ask you a question. This comes from a lot of our folks. Now, I have to tell you, I thought about this too. Yes. Is it more about how many games you've won or who you've beat that gets you up there to the top?
Yeah, you've got to win a lot of games to be in that position. Yeah, you have to have a good record. And then they're looking at the strength of schedule as well. Mm-hmm. So I would say that it's a combination of the two. Now, there's the balance. Is 10 wins and 2 losses and beating a couple of nationally ranked teams, is that good enough? That possibly so, yeah. With 11 wins and not playing very many good teams, would that get you into the playoffs? I don't know, because every year is different. But you must win most of your games, and you must beat some tough opponents to have that strength of schedule that should qualify you in the eyes of the selection committee members.
Well, let's talk about the two teams that right now on top of the mountain. What did they do through the years that was strategic in getting them to this point?
Yeah, Indiana was consistent all the way through, Donna. They won all of their games. We had them in the top 10 early because we believed in their coach from last year, who took their program down. It was noted as the worst in college football historically, 42% winning percentage overall. They were in the playoffs, Donna, the very first year. People are looking to turn around paying people millions and millions of dollars just to be winning. He earned a berth into the college football playoff for Indiana University, and they can say that forever. They made the first playoffs, the 12-team playoffs, and they had a transfer quarterback from Miami of Ohio, Rourke, and like I said, I voted for him last year for the Heisman. And I had this meeting with their coach this summer in Las Vegas. He asked me point blank about the incoming quarterback. He said, "Coach, I voted for your quarterback last year, was a transfer from Miami of Ohio." And I saw Fernando Mendoza play at the University of California versus Auburn. He was hot for the first half of the 15 of 17. I met him after the win on the road on the Plains, and I had a chance to visit with him, and I enjoyed our conversation. I was impressed with his talent, his command in the pocket, and his presence, and his ability to be accurate. Those are two of the top things for me when I'm evaluating a quarterback. And I told Coach Signetti, point blank, "Coach, you have the best quarterback coming to your team." And he proved me right once.
Let me ask you another question. This is combining all teams, okay? And sometimes a quarterback can be really good, but he just doesn't have a good following of team members with him.
Yes, that's correct.
In your opinion, who really, it doesn't matter what team, who was the best quarterback in your opinion of the season?
Yeah, for the season is Fernando Mendoza. I voted for him number one to be the Heisman Trophy winner, the Maxwell Award, the All-American team, and some other awards as well. And I just want to backtrack. You asked me about Miami as well. Miami had a very good season, had a couple of losses. They were on the cusp, and they were chosen by the committee, Carson Beck, to transfer from the University of Georgia. Mark Fletcher Jr., the running back, has been hot, getting 100 yards from the last 3 or 4 games. And the running game is very strong with Miami. They have a big offensive line, Donna. The center is 295, right? That's big in my book, but that's small for an offensive line. He's James Brockmeyer, the former center at the University of Alabama. And then all the other players, I think, are 6'5" and above and 325 pounds. So they're huge on the offensive line. And that's been really one of the keys. And they've been productive blocking for Mark Fletcher Jr. and company. With the Hurricanes, they've been able to be very, very relevant on rushing the football, which has helped the team keep the offense on the sideline as they did Ole Miss. They slowed Ole Miss down by keeping them on the sideline with the rushing game and things. But Miami is a good team. Mario Cristobal, he's evolved as a coach. He's gotten better, like his players, and that's natural. If coach is not getting better, then something's not right with him or his program. So, but they're a strong team, play good defense, very powerful at the defensive line position, get to the quarterback regularly. They're one of the tops in that area. So it's going to be a big challenge for Indiana to hold them at bay. And playing in Miami, there's going to be the whole state of Indiana will be in Miami. They've waited all this time. They've never been in this position ever. 100 plus years in football. And Donna, I just want to make people aware on my YouTube channel at the end of the game, Donna, I think you would appreciate this. I had a chance to speak with Mark Cuban. He graduated from Indiana. So he's on a short video that I did, and he stated some things in that video, and I want people to click on it so they can review what he said after the game. Of course, he was thrilled, and he's an Indiana alumnus. And he was so excited to be there to watch the Hoosiers reach the championship game. And I'm sure he'll be in Miami. And hopefully I run across him. I just happened to turn, and I was on the field at the end of the game, and there he was. And so I got a short interview with him, and he was very gracious.
How do you think the game is going to turn out? Do you think it's going to be a close game?
I think so, because these teams, they fight hard, and they don't make too many mistakes. Miami made more than usual, I guess, last game. Indiana's very good, disciplined. They're balanced. They're complementary. They have a couple of running backs, 800-900 yards. Fernando has Elijah Surratt, excellent receiver, and some others as well. And the tight end, Riley Nowakowski. So their offense has flourished throughout the season. I mean, they scored 56 points against a good Oregon team, where they had scored 30 up in Oregon. They put 56 on a neutral site. I mean, they're hot. Their offense is hot. And Miami has got progressively better. Carson Beck, he has 10 interceptions. He's prone to throw some interceptions at times, but he's been good in the playoffs. He's managed the game, and So that bodes well for the Hurricanes if he can maintain that composure and not have any turnovers. That's critical.
Mm-hmm. Who are the top 5 on your list?
Yeah, the top 5. The Indiana right now, of course. Miami has to be number 2 because they reached the championship. And then after that, Donna, Ohio State, they had a strong team, which did not perform well against the 3 top teams that they played. Texas, they scored 14 to open the season. Of course, their quarterback was new, but still 14 points with the receivers on the caliber of receiver on the team was not really enough production in my mind. And I know it's not in Ryan Day, the head coach's mind as well. Then they played Indiana, were held to 10. And then they went to the Cotton Bowl and Miami held them to 14. So the 3 biggest games where you're averaging, 35, 40 points a game, you had 14, 10, and 14. Not good enough. That's a lot of an explanation during the offseason for the Ohio State coach Ryan Day. And then you asked him about the other teams. Ole Miss, you have to give credit to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
They beat Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. They redeemed themselves. Georgia had beat them during the season when they held a pretty big lead in Athens, Georgia. And they came back in that Sugar Bowl game they had a 27-point second half against a really good Georgia team. But I tell people all the time that even these defensive coaches like Kirby Smart, when they play against a good quarterback, they don't really stop them the second time either. Trinidad Chambliss was sensational all year long, consistent. He can't play defense as well. It came down to the one play was a third down. If they had stopped him on the third down, Miami would probably have kicked the field goal successfully, I believe, would have went into overtime. But it was one play. They didn't play enough defense, and consequently, Miami is playing in the championship game, and Ole Miss ended their season.
Mm-hmm. Well, something, Georgia was so highly favored the first part of the year, and I agreed with everything I heard about them. What happened? Why did they falter?
Yeah, they have a good team, like I said, but Trinidad Chambliss, offensively, and Ole Miss, they're difficult to stop. And like I said, that second half, 27 points, they were down, and they came back and ended up with 39 points for the game against Georgia. Normally teams have trouble scoring 39 points against Georgia. Ole Miss, I think, was 35 the first game and 39 the second game. So they never slowed them down offensively, and Ole Miss played just a little bit better defense with a possession or two more, and that's why they came out on top.
We've got to go into a commercial break. We're going to be right back in just a few minutes. Man, the game of college football. It's almost like high school football.
Almost.
They get paid for it. Yeah. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. Everybody hang in there.
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free.
Okay, we're back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television and radio talk show. Thank you so much for watching. I know you like to watch AP Steadham and his segments because I think you bleed football. I really do. If somebody cut your throat, football would come out. We've got to say this. I wanted to ask you a question because high school football players have really been on my mind here lately. And I know in Abbeville, South Carolina, these kids are just like blowing it out. Do you feel kids now in high school, the ones that are graduating this year and going on to college, do you feel more confident now in playing the college football portals at this point?
I think, the college football, Donna, it's trending towards recruiting players who've already been at a school because they have the production on film and the experience. I think the high school player, he's at a disadvantage at the moment because, like I said, the coaches, it's this win now because we saw Kurt Signetti. I mean, he changed it for everybody. He won the first year, got into the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So all these university presidents and athletic directors and the fan base and the alumni, they think, well, Indiana, the bottom team of all time, is playing for the championship in year 2. We're as good as Indiana. We have money. We have millions. We get paid players. So they're looking at the production of the players who are in the transfer portal. So high school players are still being recruited. Yeah. But a lot of times, if a program is having to acquire talent to fill specific needs in its plethora of positions, then they're going to turn towards the transfer portal with the experienced player. Now, if you have a program that's fairly well established, you're going to pick and choose and cherry pick, I would say, the transfer portal. It's going to be a lower number, and you'll have more high school players on your roster. But that's the dynamic right now. The teams that are near the top and are just choosing a few players from the transfer portal are still recruiting the highly valued high school player and developing them in the next couple of years.
Well, it's almost like we're going with this new football, what's happening there, new college.
Model. Yeah, new model.
We're in this big frontier right now where, things are going to be changing. If you could be a fly on the wall, what do you think is the first thing people are thinking about changing?
Well, they're trying to get a grasp on, I think, maybe some type of salary cap where everybody can only pay a certain amount of millions total to a football team. And then I always say, if you want to cap the players, you should cap the coaches too. Because I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair. You kept the players what they can make from the university, and the coaches can go. It's wide open. There's not a number. So my feeling is, okay, fine. You want to cap the players, cap the coaches too, because you're looking for fairness. And one of the biggest factors in the equation is the head coach and the coaching staff. So if you want to try to make things on an equal playing field, how can you leave out one of the biggest variables? How can you just say, well, you can pay your coach anything? Well, then that's not fair, because not all schools can pay, let's say, $15 million to the head coach. And that's one of the biggest variables in the equation of success to improve a program. So that's what I would say, Donna. Now, will that happen, Donna? Is there an appetite for this cap and somebody to legislate and really grab a hold of this situation? I haven't seen it. So it's Wild West until further notice.
I think so too. I would like to say something done about a coach can be very unsuccessful and they're still paid off out of a contract. That needs to be revised.
Well, yeah, if I'm the AD, there's no way that I'm paying any coach 5 years, probably max. I might guarantee 5 years. I'm not going past 5 years. I'll roll you over year to year. And if you're any type of coach, you're going to make the first year and the second year too. So if I'm paying you $12 million, that's $24 million that you feel confident is going to be added to that contract, because you're feeling I can make it through the second year. I'm rolling you over 2 more years. So I think that's going to slow down as well. I think.
What are folks saying in the college football world about Tommy Tuberville? You know, of course, he's a U.S. Senator now, running for governor. What are the thoughts out there?
Yeah, well, he would be out of the equation because it has to be done on the federal level. Yeah, so he's taking himself out, I believe, of that.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about with a possible coach you had at Auburn could possibly be the governor.
I haven't heard anything, Donna. I haven't heard a word. Nobody's mentioned anything to me.
Yeah, well, people have mixed feelings about that. I think unless he kills 10 people and hides them under his bedpost somewhere, he's got it. I think he'll probably get it. But anyway, he's and I'm surprised that I've heard a lot of Alabama fans saying they're going to vote for him. So that was a surprise too. I didn't know if that would go against him or what, but I think he's probably got it licked. You never know, though.
Yeah,
who knows? Absolutely. Okay, let's talk a little bit about college football, college basketball.
Yeah, basketball. You know, Donna, the season is taking shape because, you know, you're starting with the conference games and in January, and it gets exciting because you're playing your rival, and you know you have several rivals in college basketball as you do in football. So it's fun, and there's only a few games really out of conference left, maybe sprinkled throughout. And there's it's over 350 teams, Donna. It might be over even 360 now, like that level, Division I level. See, you know, college football, I think it's 134, 135, something like that. But in basketball, it's 350 or 60. So there's a difference. But the Southeastern Conference, historical year, how many teams made the NCAA tournament? 13, I think it was last year, something like that. I mean, that number was sensational. I mean, the historical significance was, imagine this, you're playing SEC basketball, I don't know, 100 years, and the best year ever to reach the tournament was last year, Don. So you must be excited as a league to see if you can duplicate that record or come close to representing the conference in the college basketball tournament that culminates in the championship. This year, the Final Four is in Indianapolis, Don.
Yeah. How do you think Alabama and Auburn and Clemson and South Carolina are going to fare?
Yeah. So far, I think they all have pretty good records. I think Clemson had maybe 12 wins, and last time I looked, something like that. I think Alabama's 11-5. Auburn has a good team, but out of those 4 teams, there's not a dominant team among those 4, but they're good teams with chances to make the tournament. So if you get in basketball, Donna, we discussed many times, is a tournament sport. You have to make the tournament because there's 60-something teams in the tournament, so you want to be one of those 60-something teams. I think it's 68 now, something like that. So you want to be one of those teams that makes the tournament because you're judged if you earn that berth the NCAA Division I tournament.
And all that can change just on one game.
At the end of the season, yeah, it could come down to something that you need an extra conference win. You need an extra win against one of the top tier teams, top tier one teams. It could come down to one game. So it's important to win those games, especially at home, protect the home, and on the road, you're trying to win at least 50%. You'll be in good stead if you can win 50% on the road and just at home, undefeated or maybe a loss.
Just a couple of minutes left in this segment. Let's talk about AP as we see it. What's going on with the show? What happened last week?
Yeah, Donna, we had the pleasure of having Don Fisher, the voice of the Indiana University Hoosiers. He's been doing this for 53 years, Donna.
Wow.
So, imagine you start the football season, you're so excited from last year that you made the 12-team playoff. And they can never take that away from you. Indiana University football in the first 12-team playoff. And then you have a quarterback arriving named Fernando Mendoza from South Florida. And you have the coach who is a winner. And you start the season and you just keep winning and winning. And then you get to that Big Ten championship. You beat Indiana. You're the number one team in the country. So he was our guest last week, Don Fisher. He's been doing it for 53 years, did over 2,000 basketball games as well. So it was fun to have him on the show. People can go back and look. But look at our YouTube channel, AP as we see it. All the interviews we did, we covered the Fiesta Bowl with Ole Miss in Miami. So all those interviews are up there. We did the Orange Bowl the week before. We did the day of the game. We covered the Indiana versus Oregon game. So we had that press conference and some things that happened on the field after the game. As I said, Mark Cuban and Fernando Mendoza, we got a chance to interview them right on the field after the game and the celebrations. That was fun. So if you would, just check out our YouTube channel at AP As We See It, our Facebook, Instagram, X account, Spotify, and we always have links leading you to our broadcast, our interviews, and all the events and ball games that we cover.
Absolutely. AP, thank you so much for being with me. I know you're going to have fun this coming week. What are you looking forward to?
My pleasure. Thank you so much, Donna.
Thank you so much for being with us. And thank you guys so much for watching. We definitely appreciate that. Continue watching us on Abundance Television. That's found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. And on the radio, Classic Country, WZLA, 92.9 FM on the dial. Continue sending email. We appreciate that too. And let us come up with some more questions for AP for next week. No more of that I hate Alabama, I hate Auburn, none of that stuff. I'm talking about some really, really good questions. AP, again, thank you so much for being with us. We'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Because of your overwhelming support, our 1488 MyPillow has been one of the biggest sales in MyPillow history. I couldn't think of a better way to say thank you than to extend our wholesale pricing through Christmas. Get a classic standard MyPillow for only $14.88. Upgrade to a queen size, just $18.88. King size, only $1 more. Get my body pillows for only $29.88. And ready? Multi-use MyPillows, only $9.88. It's perfect time to stock up for Christmas gifts for everyone on your list. Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our wholesale pricing. Including my classic standard MyPillows, only $14.88. But that's not all. I'm so confident you're going to love our classic MyPillows that I'm going to extend my 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st, 2025. Plus, orders over $75 ship absolutely free.